Alright folks, so today I'm going to be making a knife, of course. This knife is going to be a little special. It's going to be made out of this. I had my first successful forge weld the other day, and as we speak it is in a ferric chloride acid bath, and it's etching right now, so maybe during this video I'll pull it out and you'll be able to see it. I've got my scales and pins, everything cut, ready to be put together. But today I'm going to be forge welding this piece of cable into a piece of stock that I can size up and re-weld. So we're going to learn together. I'm going to learn how to do this, and you can watch me possibly screw up. Yes, I have an anvil. It is on loan to me. It is a 85 pound anvil. It's perfect, exactly what I needed. From my previous videos you can see that I work off a piece of railroad, which moved around a lot. It jumped. It's kind of antiquated a little bit. So let's do this. So before I put this piece of cable in the fire, you guys are going to think I'm completely crazy. I'm going to stick the whole thing in and see how it goes. Hopefully it doesn't fall off my handle here. But I'm going to put that whole piece of cable in so that when I flux it and I twist it, it's going to be, I can get as much metal out of this as possible. And it's still hot. You can probably see it steaming. So we'll see how it goes. So I just went upstairs to check on my other cable Damascus knife that was sitting in the ferric chloride bath, and look how gorgeous that is. It is gorgeous. It turned out perfect. It has got an awesome design on it, and all of that was a piece of cable. So I just lit a few branches in my forge right now just to get some coals going, but right now I am not in the right personal protective equipment, so I need to change into something that's not going to set me on fire. And with the power of editing, I can get changed pretty quick. Like right now, I've got my jeans, an old t-shirt, some old shoes, because when you start pounding on this cable, due to all the flux and all the components and everything of the cable, once you start hitting it, hot metal goes everywhere. All that iron oxide and flux just flies everywhere. So the last time, excuse me, smoke. The last time that I did this, I got holes in one of my t-shirts just from me pounding on this piece of metal. It was a waste. So old clothes, ready to go. Woo, I got it revved up now. I actually had to push it away. Right now I'm under my deck of my house. I had to push it away from my house because I got it a little hot. And when I first started it, I was like, why isn't this forge getting any hotter? Well, my hose came off. I can hear the air, but my fire's not getting very hot. Well, I'm getting a little less hair on my arm now. So for me, everything goes very, very fast when I did this cable the last time. So I've got everything out right now. I've got my little pan of flux here. I've got my gloves, my channel locks or vice grips or whatever I'm using. I'm using vice grips this time because right now I don't have a leg vise or anything that I can put that cable in to give it a twist. So I use vice grips to grab each end of the cable and give them a twist, and that's how I get that first weld started. So I'm not an organized person at all, so for me to get all this stuff put where it needs to be so everything's within arm's reach, it goes very, very fast. Next thing into the forge is the coal. So once I get the coal nice and hot, we're gonna get that cable in there. Damn it, there goes my arm hair again. Never fails. So I am just about to pull the cable out for the first time, and I just want it to be hot. I don't want it to be forge weld hot or anything like that. I just need it to be hot. What I need to do is I need to go ahead and flux it, get the first coat of flux on there so that flux can really get in there and do its thing. I know what you're thinking, holy flux, that's a lot of flux. So I'm actually going to let it heat up and I'm going to pull it out again and flux it again, because I've heard that you can never go too heavy on the flux because it all burns out in there anyway. So I'm getting ready to pull it back out. Not quite as hot as I had the last time. What I want is that flux to just bake into that cable, because that cable had oils and greases and all kinds of stuff in there, and it had a little bit of oxidation and rust and all kinds of stuff on the surface of the cable. But that cable has tons of surfaces, so you have to get all of them clean, because if you don't get all of them clean, that metal will not weld together. And I know a lot of people will forge weld without flux, but for $10 a box, why not? So the next phase is the twist, and it has to be very, very hot to do this. Not quite forge weld hot, but very hot. That is the twist, and as you can see, it is a whole lot tighter than what the cable started with initially. So I am going to pull it out once more after I gave it the twist, flux again, put it back in. And that baby is hot. Okay, so it's forge welding time. We'll pull the steel out, give it a real light couple taps. Back in the fire. Okay, so the next time out of the fire, I'm going to give this thing the business a little bit harder hits. We'll bring it up to full forge weld temperature and get those strands of that cable really, really, really to weld good. Because the last thing that you want is to pound on that piece of metal cold and get those strands to open up. For what I've read and what I understand, everything has to be forge weld hot. Get those things, those strands, and those pieces of metal in there to really bond. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead, since I have everything welded together, I'm gonna go ahead and draw it out a little bit into a nice squared stock piece. Depending on its size, I'll decide whether I need to cut it up and go ahead and re-weld it. But hopefully I don't have to do that. Now that it's getting thinner, it's getting a whole lot easier to heat, so I'm moving a whole lot faster now. Not to mention here in Virginia, it's already 90 degrees out and I'm standing next to this furnace. Get out of here. I think we did it. Got a nice billet of cable Damascus. It's hot out here, huh? Woo. So, all I'm doing now is just drawing it out a little longer. And you can see what happens to the cable if you don't get it hot enough and you don't concentrate on it. You can see on this part of the cable how it wants to come unwound. I'm not using that part of the cable. It's a mess. So from here to here is going to be my usable steel. So I'm done. I'm taking this piece of metal and I'm going to walk away from it. I'm going to let it cool naturally. I'm not going to rush it. I'm not going to rush a crack or any type of flaw that I could produce into it. If there's going to be flaws in it, it's going to be something that I did during this forging process. Just to forge that little piece out, you can see how long it took. I didn't have a whole lot of space in between clips, so it goes very, very, very fast. For me at least. With my setup, it goes very fast. So I'm going to let that piece of steel cool, and this is the end of part 1. Thank you all for watching. Stay tuned to the next video.